Hi, my name's Ian Baas, driver of the number 171 APR Volkswagen GTI. We're here at VIR today, Virginia International Raceway. I'm going to take you for a few laps and show you around this really technical, demanding track.
Here we go out of pit lane onto Virginia International Raceway. 3.27 mile racetrack, nice and long, offers just about a little bit of everything. So make sure stay inside the blend line, look out to your left for any oncoming traffic. It's a really fast entry into one, really heavy braking. It's a late apex. You look for this dirt here, you can see where everybody's been running. I mean, that's a telltale. You want to stay a little bit tight here. The track tends to get real dirty on the outside, and pick up on your tires is never good. Turn 2 is flat out. You're really trying to carry as much speed into turn 3, and it's a turning and braking turn, so it's a very, very small margin for error. Carry as much mid-corner speed here as possible. I mean, that's why they call it NASCAR turn. It's not a point and shoot. It's all about mid-corner speed there, and it feels kind of awkward. Turn 4, it's you want to really square this one off. You're setting up for the next 2 corners here, so you want to make sure you get a nice wide entry into 4 or 5, and we're setting up for 6, which is the lower S's. You want to be able to be straight as possible so you can commit flat to throttle, because this is probably the 3rd longest straight we have here. It's all about straightaways, so you're getting the exits and committing to throttle as early as possible to maximize ultimate speed into the next braking zone. Here we go into probably the most famous part of this track, the uphill S's. Really takes a lot of skill here. It's a late entry. You're setting up for this next corner. It's again late. Use a little bit of curb if you need to, but not too much. You really need to listen to your car and see how it takes the curbs. Again, this is a nice late apex. You don't want to track out too far. Track really gets dirty out there, and you can find yourself in trouble real quick. Here we go over the crest of the hill. This is kind of a blind corner when you're coming up on it in a race car. I like to look out at the trees for a visual cue, help lead myself through the corner. Coming into Oak Tree, on the brakes, come out a little bit, and you want to get on the throttle as early as possible coming under the Oak Tree, because this is like a 3,000 foot straight. It's, I think, one of the longest straightaways in North America. You know, most cars are topping out 6th gear. This is also the time to be checking all your gauges, water temperature, loosen up your hands, just get ready for the next series of corners, which is basically a series of compromises as you're setting up for the final turn called the hog pen. I think it's turn 17. So this turn is really, the entry into this turn is great. It's uphill. You want to brake into the hill. If you brake not into the hill, it's gonna, your car's gonna, it's not gonna brake as well as it does. So wait as late as possible, so you're braking into the uphill and using that to help slow down the car. This corner, you really want to stay tight here, because you want to be flat coming into the next corner. You want to ride this all the way flat, all the way downhill. Keep your eyes where you're trying to go, which is the hog pen. You got an entry here with 2 curbs. You want to touch the left curb, but stay off the right curb. It tends to throw the car off and throw you wide here. You can see all the dirt where everybody's been running off. This corner, you really want to make sure, again, you're committing to throttle as early as possible to maximize ultimate speed into the next braking zone. So the front straightaway is not straight, it is flat. You've got a tree here on the right side that you kind of use as your visual. Apexing that tree. It's interesting. The speed you reach into turn 1 is similar to the speed you reach in the back straight. It shows you what kind of entry speed you carry through 17. Brake here after the 4 in our cars. As late as possible is always better. Nice late turn in. It's a very wide corner, and you don't want to track out too far. Stay tight. Again, all the pickup on the outside, all the dirty track, you want to stay away from that. Flat on the throttle through turn 3. turn 2, into NASCAR, which is all about mid-corner speed. Use the curbs if you can. Very, very small margin of air. And then you squeeze on the throttle for the little short shoot into turn 4. Hard on the brakes into turn 4. Square the corner off, nice and late entry. Setting up for 5 and 6. Kind of want to feather it in, make sure you're able to get the car straight. And once you can see daylight there, flat on the throttle. Do the S's, touch a little bit of the curbs. Use as much of them as you can. You know, this place really rewards using the curbs, in my opinion. But again, your car has to be able to come onto them and off of them without unsettling the car too much, especially for this section, which is late entry. You're setting up always. It's late, later, and latest. So nice late. If you miss the timing, it's just going to throw everything off. You got to back out of it, slow down, and woe it up, because you're just asking for trouble here. I'm sure you've seen the multiple videos online of people throwing it off here. It's not too hard. This corner is one of my favorites. Carry a ton of entry speed over the crest. Make sure the car is nice and straight as you come over the crest. The last thing you want to do is drop a wheel and head into that bumpy stuff, because you will rip the bottom end of your car off. Into the oak tree. Nice heavy braking. Use the uphill to help slow down the car. Slow down the car as much as you need to get on the throttle as early as possible. Our ST cars are my Volkswagen GTI. We're doing about 135, 140 miles per hour down this straightaway. It's got our little ST cars moving. Nice long straight, great drafting potential here. Also, a little difficult to pass here. Surprisingly, you'd think you got this nice long drafting straightaway to come on the inside of somebody, but the inside line is not the ideal position to be in, because you're setting up for the next turn, which is a right-hander, and if you're on the outside of this corner, you are SOL. So we're braking here after the 1 into the hill. Use that hill to really help slow it down. You can touch a little bit of the curb, try to straighten this out. Come and just ride this corner all the way around the outside. Set up flat so you can drive down the roller coaster. Track out a little bit. Don't want to touch those curves too much. It'll really suck you out that direction, because it's all off camber, downhill, everything's working against you. Into the hog pen, 17. Again, this is a compression turn. As you fall down into this corner, feel the front end grip up. Start looking for the exit and go to full throttle as soon as possible. Now we go into the pit lane. Kind of want to commit a little bit earlier than that so you don't mess with the people behind you too much. Down to 40 miles per hour at the Grand-Am specified pit lane speed. Look for your team. The VIR is definitely one of the most interesting tracks in all of North America. Like I said, it's got a bit of everything. High speed, technical, long straights, tight turns, great passing opportunities. It's got everything. It's a real racer's track.
Well, that's it. Thanks for coming with me today. I hope you enjoyed it, learned something. This track really doesn't give it justice until you drive it. So any chance you can get, come out here to Virginia International Raceway and get on track.